Let's just rewind the alphabet a little bit. We're going to go from AR to AI. I'm joined today by Dan Turchin, an absolute legend in the ServiceNow ecosystem. There's not many running around that can claim a direct report to Fred Luddy along the way. And Dan is certainly one of those, very, very active in the social community, putting out a ton of thought leadership on a space he is so very passionate about. And we're big believers of PeopleReign here at Thirdera as well. We really feel it's the right complementary fit to bring AI into reality, to leverage that, to power your enterprise, to drive reduction in cost, better employee experience, better retention. These are things our customers are demanding all over the planet. And really, when I think of PeopleReign, I think of someone who's out there just pioneering in this field, this industry, in a great way. So with that, I'd like to turn it over to my friend Dan Turchin. And Dan, you're going to bring us home. Let's do it.
In the pole position. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and share and see if we can get that to work.
Yep.
So we started PeopleReign now about 5 years back, and it was the offshoot of a project that we had started when I was at ServiceNow. So I spent 4 years at ServiceNow in the early days. I have the dubious distinction, like John mentioned, of being Fred Luddy's last direct report. I learned a lot from the master, and we decided that an AI-first system of intelligence that automates the delivery of employee service was something that was a little bit ambitious for us to incubate within ServiceNow. And so we spun it out. Are proud of the partnership that we've always had with ServiceNow. And that spin out, the AI-first system of intelligence became PeopleReign. So PeopleReign augments the capabilities of ServiceNow. I'll talk you through the top 10 things in just a minute that a system of intelligence does that you won't get from a system of record. So we're going to talk about improving the employee experience, the importance of improving the employee experience, and most important, we're going to talk about what it means to use technology to make humans better. And I'll remind you up front, John hears me say this quite a bit, our name is no coincidence. We believe that technology is amazing, but people reign. So a system of record, as we all know, is very adept at capturing artifacts associated with work once the work has been delivered. But the opportunity that we have now with amazing new technologies, whether it's AR from CareAR or AI from PeopleReign, is to actually create a system of intelligence that figures out what work needs to be done and then goes out and does the work. Now, ultimately, the system of intelligence needs to create an artifact associated with the work that was done in the system of record. So systems of record aren't going away, but they're essentially repositories that capture artifacts from the system of intelligence. The system of intelligence is a point of intersection between the system of collaboration, whether that's a Teams or a Slack or a voice channel, a voice portal, or a ServiceNow service portal. But what you'll find is that that system of intelligence is able to wrap a layer of intelligence horizontally around the whole employee, the life cycle of the employee service request. And in so doing, it supports not just the employee with a better virtual agent experience, but it also supports the live agent. So it makes the live agent smarter. And it also provides predictive analytics to the service owner. So everybody across the life cycle of that service request gets smarter through the addition of a system of intelligence. So how do we measure the benefits of a system of intelligence to the employee experience? Well, first we think about the EX, or the employee experience maturity model. So when you think about the value of a more engaged employee, I know John's mentioned multiple times on Partner Palooza, the impact of whether we call it the Great Resignation or the Great Rehiring, the Great Reawakening is what I prefer to call it. We think about what's the value of taking an environment where employees might be, let's say, less than enthusiastic or less than motivated, less than in a position where they do their best work. And what would happen if we could wave a magic wand and infuse that experience that employee has with a sense that they're trusted, they're valued, they're respected. And if we could do that with some smart technology, then we can move them all up and to the right on this maturity curve. We can go from being just at work to being motivated and inspired by work. And when we do that, what you'll find is that the corollary benefits are significant. That positive energy that your employees bring to work is going to rub off on your end customers. So you can expect then that your employees are going to be your best brand advocates. They're going to be the ones out there turning customers into loyal brand advocates, into evangelists. And that can only happen when your most valuable asset, your employees, feel connected to the work that they're doing. The system of intelligence, the integration between PeopleReign and ServiceNow, the extension of the services and the expertise that Thirdera brings, that's what's required to turn every employee into an inspired, engaged, motivated resource that's ultimately going to deliver better business outcomes. So what are some of those better business outcomes? We think about the top 5 KPIs in employee service. Now, PeopleReign's my 7th company in and around applying AI and machine learning to employee service. And even back to 25 years ago, when I started my first company, it's called AeroPrize. I got acquired by BMC Software before there was a ServiceNow. We would talk about the same big 5 KPIs in employee service, only now we can deliver outsized gains. So we'll talk about the path to success with AI in just a minute, but you can think about delivering these kinds of benefits: improving self-service adoption by 45%, reducing your mean time to resolve incidents by 40%, improving customer sat by 35%, reducing your cost per contact by 90%. You read that right, by 90%. There's a lot of room for improvement when it comes to how expensive it is to deliver service to employees. Typically, according to HDI, the Help Desk Institute, it's between $22 and $25. Well, you wrap a layer of intelligence horizontally around that life cycle, and it goes down to between $3 and $5. Outsized gains. I remember years when, a 4 to 6% improvement in a KPI, whether it's MTTR or call volume, that might get an employee the VIP parking spot and a raise. And now we're talking about 90% cost reduction, 65% reduction in call volumes. These are outsized gains that are only enabled by a system of intelligence collaborating or integrating with a system of record like ServiceNow. 10 things that you get from a system of intelligence that augment the capabilities of a traditional system of record. Now, again, I'll remind you, these are all things we decided very intentionally needed to happen in order to help the ServiceNow community mature, kind of escalate up that service delivery maturity curve, but they were all things that were really out of the scope of what we could do within ServiceNow. The system of intelligence figures out what the right algorithm is to use. It tunes the hyperparameters automatically associated with that selected algorithm. Now, something to understand about AI is there are a lot of different algorithms. One algorithm does not fit all tasks. And so you really want your system of intelligence to be able to understand, based on the task, which algorithm is going to perform best. You don't get that from a system of record. Select the features from the underlying data to make the best or the highest precision decisions on an automated basis. Incorporate active learning so that every input into the system of intelligence improves the subsequent quality of the decisions that are being made. Figure out what it doesn't know and be in a position to engage with an employee in a way that takes into account AI is going to know some answers, it's not going to know others. When the virtual agent doesn't have the right answer, escalate to the live agent with context. Make the human smarter. Improve the overall quality of the experience the employee has. Use domain ontologies. One of the big advantages of using a system of intelligence like PeopleReign is it comes pre-configured with 5 million answers to common work questions. Now, just by comparison with a traditional system of record like a ServiceNow, that's 5 million more pre-configured answers than you'd get with a system of record. The system of intelligence can classify requests across domains. It might be an IT request, it might be an HR request, it might be a legal request or facilities management. All of those domains can be supported by the system of intelligence. It must be configurable. Every decision that it makes on an automated basis must be explainable. And perhaps most important, it must span the life cycle of the employee service request. It can chat with end users. It can assist live agents. It can automatically route requests. It can identify what domain the request is associated with. It can pull up answers from that set of domain ontologies, from that 5 million work concepts that come pre-configured. It can automate the process of providing predictive analytics to service owners. It gets smarter all the time. It makes the value of ServiceNow that much greater because it turns ServiceNow from a traditional system of record into a system of intelligence. 4 applications, 3 personas. The virtual agent is the first port of call for the employee. The virtual agent is an omni-channel experience. It speaks 27 languages fluently, no need for translation, string translation in ServiceNow. And it automates the process of learning, building those NLU, the natural language understanding, as well as the NLP, the natural language processing modules, without any manual intervention. No data scientists needed, no linguists needed. 5 million pre-configured answers spoken in 27 languages fluently across voice, chat, asynchronous solutions like email, synchronous solutions like SMS, any channel that your employees are going to go when they need an answer, when they need a request, when they need to order something, the virtual agent's going to be there for them. It's going to be more compelling than the traditional methods of calling the help desk or sending an email to the help desk. The virtual agent's almost always going to get the answer right the first time. But when it doesn't, you know what? That's okay. Nobody's penalized. When the virtual agent's not sufficient, it hands off to an application called PeopleReign Classify, which will fill in all of the fields in a traditional ticket or a case or essentially anything that gets extended from task. It'll use machine learning to fill in all the correct values, and it gets better all the time. So you get a confidence score, you'll get all the correct values filled in, and all of a sudden, all that time that went into elongated MTTR previously now gets compressed because these tickets don't hop around anymore. They get to the right place the first time and all the values are filled in before the live agent even does any work. Classify then hands off to the third application on PeopleReign called Recommend, and Recommend actually tells the live agent what to do next. So it uses machine learning to build a set of, we refer to these as cards in a deck of cards. It embeds them right in the ticket or the case or the task. And just like that, the typically 45 minutes to an hour of research that the live agent needed to do now gets compressed down into 10 minutes max because the answer is staring at them right in the face, right embedded within ServiceNow. Lastly, Insights. Insights is the predictive analytics dashboard used by service owners. So the third persona, the fourth application, and what Insights does is says, look, based on what your employees are asking about, based on what actions they're taking, based on where they're being affected, here's what to do to suppress further issues that might impact them that haven't yet impacted them. This is the real value of a system of intelligence. It's providing actionable insights that let you provide a better employee experience before anyone even knows that they have an issue. This is the future of work. It's ambient intelligence that's infused across the enterprise. Think about sensor networks that understand your employees better than they do. Think about conference rooms that book themselves. Think about passwords that reset themselves. Think about security-aware infrastructure that understands who's collaborating together, what they're allowed to access, and it's continuously making decisions on behalf of the organization, on behalf of the teams, on behalf of the employees, that lets them spend more time doing the things they love and less time waiting on hold and doing the things that drain energy from their life as an employee. That's the future of work. 3 steps to every successful AI-first deployment: plan it, deploy it, improve it. And a lot of the value you'll find of working with the Thirdera team is you hit the lottery. By picking Thirdera as your ServiceNow implementation partner, you get the benefit of having a world-class system of intelligence like PeopleReign at your disposal. John and the Thirdera team have been trained to deliver this methodology. It's a 3-step process. It starts with the planning phase. We'll do an AI data analysis that will teach you about your data. Based on that, we'll make a recommendation about how best to configure the system of intelligence in the deploy phase. We'll go ahead and deliver on the recommendations from the planning phase. We do that in the form of a risk-sharing exercise. We guarantee that the AI will deliver on the benefits to those KPIs that I mentioned previously. And if you don't get the benefits, you don't pay for the solution. We're that confident in the value of a system of intelligence improving. Unlike deploying traditional software, AI improves on its own. And what you'll find is through what we call the AI managed service, you'll get a team of experts dedicated to your AI models, but more importantly, your use cases and your employee experience. So you can guarantee that not just will the AI be deployed the right way the first time, good AI hygiene, good automated decision-making, but on a weekly basis, you'll have access to a team of the world's best data scientists, the world's best experts in terms of using AI to improve the employee experience, who will provide you with a steady drip in your insights dashboard of things that you can do to further improve the accuracy of automated decisions, but more important, to deliver a better employee experience, to ultimately achieve the benefits that I talked about up front, the value of a better employee experience that ultimately translates into better customer outcomes. So we want you to derive benefits like lots of other ServiceNow customers around the world. A very progressive ServiceNow customer is called Swiss Re, a reinsurance company based out of Zurich. It's actually a relatively small ServiceNow customer. It's 15,000 employees, but spread across 25 countries. They first onboarded PeopleReign to replace a combination of a solution from IBM Watson and Microsoft's Lewis NLP framework. They spent 18 months trying to get value out of those, integrating them with ServiceNow. After 18 months and $1.5 million, they did nothing to show for it. Within 3 months, their MTTR was down by 37%. They had the system of intelligence fully integrated with ServiceNow. They had deployed the first 2 applications, Classify and Recommend, to support 15,000 global organizations. They subsequently went live with a version of the virtual agent from PeopleReign integrated with ServiceNow. They call it Yada. They've branded it as that name. And it now deflects up to 70% of the calls that otherwise would have created a lot of friction between employees and the internal service provider. Those are the kind of benefits you can expect to achieve when you work with Thirdera, use the system of intelligence, integrate it with ServiceNow to extend the value that you're ready to get out of ServiceNow.
Dan, real quick, I think that's one of the areas that was really astonishing for me is people that have been down the path of AI before using some of these traditional platforms. You know, it's fraught with those types of experiences. Your ability to rationalize value is exponentially faster than those traditional experiences. And I think that is something that's uniquely and differentiated PeopleReign.
Nothing makes us more proud than the stories that everyone's that's here at Partnerpalooza today. You're going to come back to John and myself and our teams and tell us things that you're doing with the system of intelligence that we never envisioned. And, you know, I've already said it a few times. When we talk about, you know, the future of work, you're going to define it. We're going to give you the tools. We're going to provide the expertise, but you're going to define it. You're going to reinvent the experience that your employees have at work. And in so doing, you're going to unlock levels of value, levels of enthusiasm for what your employees can accomplish that you've never seen before. That's how we're going to turn the tide. This great resignation is becoming the great reawakening, and it's through systems of intelligence like this one. So I'd love for you to join me. This is next week. I'm hosting it. I'm leading the course. It's an AI for IT leaders course. It's a 5-day, mostly self-paced course. It's a $2,500 course. As part of this partnership, we've agreed to provide it for free. We've never done this before, but we're going to provide it for free to everyone who's attending Partnerpalooza. You're welcome. We charge $2,500 for it. We think that when it reinvents your career and when it gets you a promotion and causes you to have an impact and change the lives of every one of your employees, we're going to go out on a limb and say that's worth a lot more than $2,500. But you get it for free. You can go to that URL, sign up for it. Let me know that you attended Partnerpalooza. We're going to have some office hours when I'll be meeting with everyone in the course one-on-one. I'd love to learn from you more about your vision. There's a capstone project where you actually define your first AI initiative. And our team is there to help you every step of the way. Love to see you there. Please take advantage of the offer, and thanks to Thirdera for underwriting this course with us. With that said, I will share this deck. You'll have all of our contact information. You might get the sense that between John and myself, we're a little bit passionate about this stuff, and we'd love nothing more than to get to know you, attend the course, share with us the opportunity that we have together to influence the employee experience for your organization. With that said, John, I'll pause and would love to take any questions.
Dan, I think that's going to bring us home. I can't think of a better person to wrap it up. And as always, leave people mouths open, eyes wide open. It's a really compelling use case, and I would encourage everyone that's joining us and everyone that's catching the replay to get in that AI course for executives. It's a fan favorite of ours here at Thirdera as well. There's a reason Thirdera University is involved in that initiative as well. It is science and a use case that we couldn't believe stronger in. So Dan, I can't thank you so much.